everybody, it's Megan. Thanks so much for joining me today. Welcome if you are new here, welcome back if you're a returning viewer or a returning subscriber, and welcome to all of my new subscribers. I know I have a bunch that have recently joined my community. Now, if you are a returning viewer or someone new and you like what you see but you've not yet hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it if you do. But let's go ahead and jump into today's video. As you can see from the title, it is my most recent Empties video. That's what I'll be showing you here. This is for, I think, the mid to end of February, all the way through the end of April. I am filming this on April 29th, and I actually tried filming this earlier in mid-April and to do like a 2-month Empties update, but it just didn't happen. I had a lot of interference and background noise from dogs, children, husbands walking in, trying to restart. But let's go ahead and get into it. I have my noisy paper bag that holds all of my empties. So I'm gonna pull some of these out, arrange them, and then show you what I have. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the hygiene product that I use up regularly and you will always see in my Empties videos. So I'm gonna go through these pretty quickly, and if you're interested in hearing a little bit more in depth about how I feel about these products, then I will leave a link to my Empties playlist, and you can go back and at least the Empties video before and the one before that, I do talk in a little bit more depth about these first two products. The first product is the contact solution, multi-purpose solution or cleaner. This is Bausch & Lomb BioTrue. I interchange between this and OptiFree depending on whichever is cheaper. Because it's been 2.5 months since I filmed my last Empties, I've used 2 of those, and these were in the 10 fluid ounces. So I know that these were a little bit smaller than some of the other sizes I've shown in the past. Another thing that you see regularly in my Empties videos are my proven skincare items. So I think I am just starting the 4th. It's not a round. It's more of a subscription model where every 8 weeks they will send you more product, and you can choose to delay that shipment if you like. I usually delay it by probably an additional 2 weeks. So I usually get like 2.5, closer to 3 months use out of these products. This is the night cream and the day cream. I do use them up pretty much at the same time, and I'm still working on the cleanser, but that one's almost done, and then I'll be starting my new set that I just received. So I talk about those products in a little bit more detail in previous Empties videos. Also related to Proven, I used these little foil packets. So sometimes they give you like extra samples. And so this was supposedly a personalized day cream and night cream for your eyes. And I use these. I remember liking them. I have a lot of trouble where my eye area is very sensitive to creams, especially eye creams for some reason. Like I can slap on a regular night cream and get pretty close to under the eye area and it doesn't bother me, but there's something about like eye creams specifically that it will cause a little bit of burning and irritation. I usually have to wash it off. I don't remember that happening with these eye creams, so I think I did like these specifically. To get the eye creams, it is a little bit expensive. I think it's the eye cream duo set is the same cost as the actual 3-piece skincare system, and it's an add-on. So that's not something I'm willing to pay for right now, but I did appreciate the samples. And if more samples came in the future, I'd be happy with that. Right now, I just use the night cream around my under eye and kind of like the corners of my eyes in that area, and it does the job just fine. Another foil packet that I used is this Clinique Moisture Surge. It says 100H. Is that 100 hours? But it does say 100H Auto Replenishing Hydrator. That's what the foil packet looks like. I just use this on my hands because I don't know how old this is. It's at least probably 2 years old, and I wasn't super comfortable putting it on my face, mostly because I've found the Proven skincare works really well, and if I add other things in, my skin does act up. But also I wasn't sure if this was still like face safe because of how old it was. So I did put it on the back of my hands, and it did feel very moisturizing, and it kind of like created a barrier with my skin. In the morning when I went to like wash up for the morning and go through my morning routine, I did notice that there was still a little bit of that slip when I was rinsing my hands, like it was kind of rinsing off some of the moisturizer that was still there. So I guess what I mean is that it didn't sink completely into the skin of my hands, but did kind of lay on top or create a barrier. At the same time, my hands didn't feel super greasy either. And then also, like I said, this is designed for your face, so I don't know. I know that your face and your hand skin are a little bit different, so I don't know if that made a difference. I am probably going to stick to the Proven Skincare for now. I would not get this, but I mean, it did seem like there was an element of moisture in it. So that's my thoughts on the Clinique Moisture Surge. Then I used up this Neutrogena Hydro Boost Ultra Soft Cleansing Towelettes, and I know that these are not the best for the environment. I don't actually use cleansing towelettes that often. This I probably purchased last year, I think, for when I was traveling in the summer, and I think I'm going to be traveling again in June or August, and I probably will buy another one then. That's pretty much all I use these towelettes for, and then I put them away and I just use them for when I travel. So this lasted me, this set of 25 lasted me like a whole year, and I enjoyed it. It's really more of a convenience factor when I am traveling, but when I am home, I do have a cleansing oil and then my regular cleanser, and I go through that process and use like a makeup towel remover, like one of those like cloth removers, rather than using these towelettes. So this is more for just like travel and emergencies. But I do like that one. Had enough of like juice to get like my face clean. I just needed one towelette to wipe my face clean and wipe my makeup off. Let's see. So let's get into some other fragrance items that I used up. Now these are like from way back in the end of February. This is the White Pumpkin and Chai Fine Fragrance Mist, and this is the Merry Christmas Ice Cinnamon Rolls Fragrance Mist in the travel size. So these were in my Winter Project Use It Up, and when I did my Winter Project Use It Up finale, which I'll leave a link to that video if you are interested in seeing it and haven't seen it yet. But when I finished that finale, I had like just a little bit left. I was right at the bottom of the packaging, and this one, like I had just the very, very like smallest amount left. And so I think this took me a week to finish, and then this took me an additional 2 weeks after to finish. So I think by the end of February, both of these were gone, and they ended up being, I think, honorable mentions in my Project Use It Up for the winter, because I was like so close to being done and I had worked really hard on them. So I am happy with these being done. I've talked about these a lot in my Project Use It Up. I do enjoy this, but I appreciated it in the smaller size and would not get the bigger size. This one, I think I would consider purchasing again, maybe in a travel size, but not anytime soon. Like I used it a lot and I'm ready to move on to other scents. But I did enjoy that one, especially towards the end and in the like January, February months. One last kind of like body care item before I get into like soaps and sanitizers is this one, which is just a wrapper to remind me. This was a Bath and Body Works, basically a bath bomb, but they call it a bath fizzy is what they call it. So it was 4.6 ounces or 130 grams, and this was in Japanese cherry blossom. It's just your standard bath fizzy or bath bomb. I don't even know if they still make these anymore or if they discontinued it, because I know that this was at least probably 2 years old, which is why I used it, because I really need to go through my bath bombs, bath fizzies, bubble bars and stuff like that, because I kind of buy them, hold on to them for a long time, and then they just start to lose their scent and their like the bubbliness, or the like, yeah, the bubbliness is kind of basically that, and the scent gets lost. So this was okay. I wouldn't repurchase this from Bath and Body Works again. I do prefer the Lush bath bombs, but also I just in general don't use bath bombs, and I have to remind myself that I don't need to buy these because I don't take baths. Like I'm mostly a shower person, and I really have to force myself to like sit in a tub for more than 10 minutes, which to me is then not worth sitting in a tub. So anyway, I did finish that. So let's get into hand sanitizers. Not that many. The first one is this Bath & Body Works antibacterial hand wipes. This was in the scent Sunshine and Lemons, and it was 30 wipes. I think I got this a year ago at maybe the summer SAS, but I'm not sure. This does have an expiration of November 2023, so I finished it well before that. My problem with this is that because I carry these in my purse, but I tend to not use these sort of hand sanitizer products when I'm out and about. Like, I just try to find a bathroom and wash my hands. Once I opened this, I let it sit for so long that it ended up drying out. I think I had probably 5 or 6 of these towelettes left, and they were completely dried out. I could still smell the scent, but there was no like wetness to wipe anything down. So I do feel like, unfortunately, some of this went to waste just because it dried out. But I think that was also partially my fault because I didn't use them in a timely manner. Like, I held on to these for months. Like, I think I opened these in the fall. And then like months later, or in the summer, right after I got them, and then like months later, I was like, oh yeah, I still have these, and they were no longer like useful. So I have one more of these in a different scent, and I'm gonna try my hardest to like use it in a timely manner, but I probably would not get these again. They're not as convenient as I thought they would be, but that's just my personal opinion. All right, the one hand sanitizer that I did finish, because I just, like I said, don't use hand sanitizers. As much as I like the idea of using hand sanitizers, they're always very strongly scented with whatever fragrance. And I feel like for me, it's a little bit too much. I'm more than happy to like use them on my own at home, but when I'm out and about, and especially around like other people, I get very self-conscious because I feel like the scent is maybe too strong and could be offensive to some people, especially if you are sensitive to scents. Anyway, long story short, this is the one that I finished up, and I actually finished it up at home. I kind of put it next to where I changed my son's diaper, and then once I changed his diaper and kind of threw that away, then I would use the hand sanitizer until I could actually like get to wash my hands, which was just like immediately after. So it's just really hard because the place I would use the hand sanitizers and be comfortable using them is at home, but then I might as well just wash my hands. So yeah, I do have another one in my bag right now that I'm working on. It's a slow process because I just forget to use them. But this one is, I don't actually know if I mentioned what the scent was. This one is pumpkin apple. It's the Too Gourd to Be True. So that was from the fall line. Since it's been like 2.5 months since my previous empties, I have 4 different hand soaps. So I do keep hand soaps in the kitchen, in the guest bathroom, which is also where my son uses, the bathroom that he ends up using, and the bathroom that we tend to use when we're out in the living space. And then there's a hand soap in the master bathroom, which is the bathroom that I predominantly use. And so I tend to put the scents there that I really prefer. And then the scents in the kitchen and the bathroom that I think are a little bit more neutral that other people would prefer. So in the kitchen, I had Bath & Body Works Endless Weekend. This one has scent notes of fresh summer mandarin, sun-kissed magnolia, and blue coconut water. And this was in the gel hand soap. I really enjoyed this, and I would 100% get this scent again. I thought it was perfect for the kitchen. It would also be perfect for the guest bathroom, or kind of a bathroom that like lots of different people are going to use. I just really enjoyed this, and I do like the gel hand soaps for the kitchen. They just because I feel like I'm using a lot hotter water when I'm washing dishes, or just like making sure that my hands are clean before I cook or after I've like touched food and stuff, that this is just a little bit more moisturizing and a little bit gentler on the skin. So I really like the gentle hand soap in the kitchen, and this scent was a favorite. In the guest bathroom where my son was, I used Terracotta Canyon. This is a white barn fragrance, and this one has fragrance notes of golden amber, desert jasmine, and warm sandalwood. So this was kind of a nice neutral to slightly masculine scent because of the sandalwood, but I really enjoyed this. I guess my family enjoyed it as well because they did use it up. My son, he's a toddler, he's 2.5 years old, so he tends to kind of push and use a lot of soap. So I think that's why this got used up a little bit like faster than it might have otherwise, but that was a nice scent. I don't know if I would get that one again. Here, it's been a little bit since yeah, I think I would get that one again. It's nice. I think the sandalwood is very strong, but I did enjoy it. And then in my bathroom, I used the ice cinnamon rolls. This is warm cinnamon rolls, fresh orange and sugar glaze. I really enjoyed that one. And then I also used the toasted vanilla chai, which is whipped vanilla, spun sugar, and winter spice. So all of these in the kind of more diamond shaped packaging are the foaming hand soaps, and I really like those for the bathroom. Like, these are generally my preferred soap, like soap type, I guess. Anyway, form, I guess. These I really liked, and I thought the colors matched really well with my decor and also just the kind of cooler winter months. So I would get both of these again. So the toasted vanilla chai, I do have a second, I have a backup of. And ice cinnamon rolls, I did like a lot as a hand soap, and I would definitely get that again when it comes back in the fall. So hopefully it does come back. So this last part of the video is going to be all of my home fragrance empties, my wallflowers and candles. Just as a heads up, if you hear any tapping or scratching in the background, it's my dog. She just woke up, and I'll try to cut as much of that out as possible, but sometimes she kind of comes in when I'm talking and I don't realize it until she's like right next to me. So I do apologize about that if you hear it, but hopefully you won't. All right, so I have 2 wallflowers. I almost have a third one. I have just like a little tiny bit of juice down at the very bottom of the wallflower. So I'm leaving it plugged in, but I will have a picture of it here. I believe this was Wild Berry Spritzer. For some reason, I can't find the tag. I usually hold on to them. I don't know where it is for that one, but it was a like fruity berry scent. And as you can see, the stick has really turned colors on that one, which is why, like, even if that one is not completely done by the end of today, I'm switching it out anyway. The other 2 wallflowers, which are completely done, I have here. The first one is Enchanted Candy Potion. This one I think is the one that I had up through February into through the end of February. And this one has fragrance notes of spellbinding sugar, bewitched berries, and whipped pixie dust. Basically, it just smells sweet and kind of like sugar. I have a backup of this one, but I don't think I would get any more if the scent came back. Or if I didn't have a backup of it, I would be okay with it as well. Like, I enjoyed it, but it was not my favorite wallflower scent. I don't remember this being very strong. I remember this one being kind of on the lighter side. I did smell it, but I think that this one, I went nose blind to it a lot sooner than I did with some of the other scents. The other one that I have here is In the Stars. This one is has scent notes of sparkling bergamot, apricot blossom, and fluffed sandalwood. This one is more of like a perfumey scent. I believe this is also a body care scent as well. I enjoyed this one, and I think I would repurchase this one in a wallflower. I think that this is one of the like year-round scents that sticks around, and I think I would get this again because I remember this being a little bit stronger, and I was able to smell it a little bit longer in the wallflower. So I did enjoy In the Stars. Also, I don't know if I actually commented on my thoughts on that other wallflower that's still plugged in, but I did really like that one. That's one that I don't know if it's a year-round scent or not, but if it is, I would repurchase that one. And if it's not, I would look out for it. And if I saw it again, I would definitely get it. I feel like it did last a little bit longer. I was able to hold on to that smell or at least smell it a little bit longer than I usually do for other wallflowers. So that one I did like as well. So very last part are the candles. I have 2 3-wick candles from Bath & Body Works. I have a single wick candle from Bath & Body Works. And then I have a single wick from an independent or an indie company. So let's start with the 3-wick candles. Now, I am super excited that I was able to finish these 2. I finished these in the beginning of March because my husband was out of town for 10 days, and I was able to just burn as many candles and as many scents as I wanted, one right after another. I was just burning at any moment that I was home, in the evening, in the morning, and that's very, very rare for me. For those of you who may not be familiar with my husband's nose situation, he's very sensitive to scents, especially like artificial fragrances, and he like will come in and he'll start coughing, and it seems a little, exaggerated, but I know that it's not because he's just super sensitive to them. So for example, I was burning the sweet mango candle, which I actually really enjoy. I blew it out, had the windows open, and I think it was like at least an hour, 2 hours afterwards, I could kind of smell the candle. It was still like a little bit, like, to me, it was like a light, sweet kind of fragrance in the house. My husband walked in and he immediately was like, absolutely not, we can't do this candle. I need the windows open more. And he's like, next time you got to make sure you close the door to the bedroom so that I have a place to go. And I felt really, really bad because I really enjoy that candle, but it obviously didn't work for him. So now I have to put that candle away and make sure I only burn it when I know that he's going to be gone for the entire day, or maybe he's on a trip. Anyway, that being said, because he was gone for 10 days, I got through, for me, lots of candles. So this first one is an oldie. It is Spiced Gingerbread Swirl. So the batch code on this at the bottom, the first number is 8. Does that mean that was 2018? Anyway, this one has fragrance notes of ginger snap cookie, cinnamon, and nutmeg. And when I first got this, I remember getting it because I thought that it was a lighter scent compared to the other candles. And you can smell that kind of spicy ginger note, but that's the only note that I smell. It's like the spicy ginger and like other spices. Like, I don't get a cookie note. It's just the kind of spicy note. And I remember there was a little bit of fragrance when I did burn it originally. I think I got to about halfway and then put it away for a really long time. I lost the lid, I got the lid back. Things have happened. It's been many years. What is this, like 5 years now? Needless to say, when I burned this past few months to finish the candle, there was no fragrance to it. Like, I can smell it on cold right now, but actually burning, standing right over it, I couldn't smell anything. So this one was time to finish and get out of my collection. I don't think I would get this scent again. To me, it's just a little bit too spicy, and I probably would not purchase this again even if it did kind of show, like, reappear at Bath & Body Works. So I'm happy to be done with this one. I got a candle out of my collection, hoard, whatever you want to call it. The other one that I burned through was Love Every Bunny. This is the sweet carrot cake. I think this might be the first time it came out. There's a 0 in front of the front of that batch code. And this one has fragrance notes of sweet cream cheese frosting, fluffy carrot cake, and cinnamon spice. Like I said, I think this was the first one. The packaging is adorable, and I like how it smells on cold. Like, I do smell all of the fragrance notes on cold. I get the cream cheese icing or frosting scent. I get the carrot cake, a little bit of spice, but also kind of cakey note. And I really enjoy it, but on cold. But on burning, I just feel like those notes don't come out. Also, this was a disaster to burn. Like, look how awful it is. The wax on the side is technically my fault because I moved the candle when the wax was still warm. So I did get it all over the sides, but look how much sooting there is in that candle. Like, it is gray. Like, the sides are just gray and black. It's awful. And I technically probably could have burned this one more time, except one of the wicks actually broke at the base. So I was, especially in the last third of the candle, I was really unhappy with how this was burning. It was just sooting. It wasn't even like visibly sooting. It was just that, like, the wax was so sooty and murky looking, and so it was starting to affect the scent as well. And so to me, I feel like that was just really unfortunate. But the packaging is adorable. It had this really cute bunny nose lid, and I like the scent on cold. It's just disappointing and when I warm it. All right, the last Bath & Body Works candle was this single wick, and this one is in peppermint sugar cookie. A little bit hard to see that packaging since the wax is no longer there. This one has no fragrance notes because it's a single wick, but it's basically a peppermint scent with a sugar cookie scent, and I can smell that on cold. I actually really like how this smells on cold, but what I've come to realize is that I hate mint and peppermint scents in candles when they're being burnt. Like, on cold they're fine, but there's something about where they just become too overwhelming for me. A lot of times there were many times throughout this where I was just like, I think I want to just like not finish this. I almost want to just throw it out because, and I was only like halfway done because I was so frustrated with the single wick itself and how it was burning. And then also I wasn't a big fan of the scent. Towards the after the halfway point, things got a little bit, the candle got easier to manage. I didn't have to baby it and look after it so much. So it became a little bit more pleasant, but I still struggled with the scent a little bit. It just wasn't my favorite. In terms of the actual candle performance, I feel like with single wicks, I have a hard time with the wax burning all the way out to the edge of the container. Like it takes a really long time, and then even on the initial burn, if I get it to melt all the way to the edge, I struggle to have that happen with future burns. I actually have had to put tinfoil around this one and other single wicks to just get enough heat in the container to where the wax would melt, because the candle wick by itself would not be enough to melt the wax all the way to the edge, even after like hours of burning. So it's just a little bit frustrating, like with these single wicks. Like I like the idea, the packaging, they're cute, but I just feel like it's not even that they don't have a scent, because I know a lot of people complain that they don't have the scent throw of a 3-wick, which obviously because it's a single wick, but for me, they just don't burn well. And I don't want to have to sit and like babysit a candle to like make sure that, you know, the wax is melting and, you know, I'm not getting tunneling and all of that stuff. So I have a few other single wicks, but I am not buying any more single wicks because it's just not worth it for me. All right. This is a indie candle or indie company that I purchased from. This is Book Sense is the company, but I will leave that down in the description below if you're interested in taking a look at them. It says Book Sense, every candle has a story. And I do believe that all of these candles are themed around different books. So I got this at LeakyCon, which is a Harry Potter convention, when it was here in Boston, like, was it 2019, I think? So this one is kind of old as well. So this one is Evening at the Burrow, which is, like I said, based off of Harry Potter. This one says a comforting blend of baked bread, harvest ale, and a cozy fire. So it's like being at the Weasleys' home. This one doesn't have a wick because I got overly excited. I thought I had burned through more of the wax than I actually did. And I pulled the wick out and I realized how much of the wick was left. And I was like, oh, I should have left the wick in. I think I pulled the wick when there was still like a good chunk of wax left. So I ended up just burning this on a wax melter. I can still smell a lot of the fragrance, but I'm just kind of over, like, I wish I had left the wick in so that I could continue to burn it. But I'm just ready to kind of move on from this because there's no wick and I'm tired of warming it on the warmer. I'd rather just kind of go through other candles that I can burn. I did enjoy this. This has a nice, very strong scent. It's a very fall, there's that kind of like warm spiciness note. There is also that baked bread note that comes out when you burn it, which I did really enjoy. Overall, this is a scent that I would get again, but it's definitely a fall scent for me. So like I said, I will leave a link to this website and this company if they're still in business. I'll leave that down in the description box and also in a pinned comment as well. This is another indie company. This is Wicks by Werby. This is more local to me. They are a soy candle. This one is a 4-ounce and they have some amazing scents. This one I burned down all the way to the bottom. I've heard that soy wax has a little bit of like pitting or something in the wax when it hardens after you've burned it. So I did get a little bit of that, but I've also heard that that's normal. So other than that, it burned really, really clean. As you can see, I burned it down to the very end and this scent is amazing. Like 1000% I recommend this company, and I will 100% leave the link to this company down below. This one is Sinister Brews with Hubert, and it's dark coffee, cinnamon, and clove, and it is so strong. So Wicks by Werby, they are another company that focuses on fandoms, and I think they do anime fandoms. So I'm not familiar with who Hubert von Vestra is. Like, I don't really watch a lot of current anime. I just don't have time. But I love this candle. It's a very strong coffee, note. There's the little bit of, I would say it's a little bit of cinnamon, but people, if you're very sensitive, folks, if you're very sensitive to cinnamon, you'd probably say that it's pretty strong, like secondary note. But the coffee is definitely like a punch you in the face coffee. And I love this. This is the candle that I was burning with the like 0 scent gingerbread swirl candle. And this is amazing. I have other candles from Wicks by Werby in this 4-ounce set, and I'm so excited to burn them because the scent was just amazing. Like I can still smell it right now, and it's not tainted by any sort of sootiness or like burnt scent. Wonderful, wonderful candle. So 100% would recommend Wicks by Werby. So those are my empties for the last 2.5 months. Like I said, I'm super pleased with the number of candles I was able to get through, but that was like a fluke and probably won't happen again anytime soon because my husband won't be going on a work trip that's 10 days long, like anytime soon. Like definitely not. It was stressful for both of us. So while I was able to burn through a lot of candles, now I can't because he is home and in and out of the house a lot more frequently. So I have to burn candles in shorter bursts that are also less like perfumey fragranced. So you will see fewer like candles and home fragrance, but in the next couple months, usually about 2 months, this bag will fill up again and you'll see another video from me. All right, if you are here at the very end of this video, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. I will see you in the next video. Usually I say I'll talk to you down in the comments, but I think I've come to the realization that comments make me anxious. I do read the comments, but I get very anxious about like replying to them. I don't know why. It's a weird me thing. So I will read your comments and do my best to respond to them or like at least like them or something, but I will definitely see you in the next video. All right, thanks everyone. Bye-bye.